Arnkel limped behind the skull's sure step until a cave cut out of murky stone, and sat there by a blue-smoked fire, while the story-smith ran back into the cloudy frost to quest for friendly faces. Alas, the thunder shook the skies, sweeping fog before all eyes. Hail and snow shards and ice flakes thrashed the frozen ground. Loki's maiden fed the storm with bone-white specks of dead men's teeth. The sister of the wolf does not return one of her own, and Arnkel now belonged to the Snake Queen's sunken hall. So the Skard walked through as rough a wood as midnight seas. The waves of white crashed from the bending trees, the foam of ice sweeping up her legs as water beats a sinking deck. She fought to follow a track none could retrace, stolen by the trickster's ken. She tussled and struggled and sought until, defeated by the animal wild weather, she fell to her rock-cold knees, then to the ground, lying under the storm as forever lost boats lie under the sea. Thus the Fairbringer waited for help never to come. Flames went to embers, embers to ashes. Still she waited, the sword flood growing as the fire died. The never-trusting woman trusted her friend's return. In hope-weak forbearance she rested, but though an oath was woven to the white singer, she did not rise. The night melted into the newborn day, and still the story-smith stayed absent. A snow hare freckled with blood black came to the cavern's entrance. The creature watched the battle sweat-stained frame with eyes for an animal not made. A sudden noise, the beast fled, and the last wave of low-tide faith lifted the faded wolf-woman. 3 times she called, 3 times, only silence answered. Her call died down. Then Othin's ward knew that never would she be one of All-Father's guests, to ever feast on boar's flesh and goat's mead. Here she would die, with neither glory nor blood price paid, a shameful end. To succumb to wounds slow poison was worthy only of hell's hall. Snow hares and red-breasted robins were the grey maiden's messengers. She had come to claim what was now hers. But though as feeble as when Stig Jorunson had left her upon her ruin become home, Arnkel strove not to surrender without a battle. From the wells of forgotten strengths, she drew the last drops of will-born powers. She lifted first her face and then her failure-fouled blade of frost and fire. Darkened with the anger of the twice betrayed, darkened with the carrion channels, and darkened with as shadow-black hair as ever befell a being of Midgard, the Fairbringer limped out of the cave to dawn's light, where the last of foes awaited her. The Ulfhevin winced but still hauled up frozen fire. She called out to the twisted death that lay before her, as fever shivered through her. To you I come, to you I swear the last of oaths. I promise you shall never win. Whilst the last call of honour broke through Arnkel's soon-sealed lips, afar from her, in storm-soothed woods, the Jarl of Kaldervik awoke a friendly face, with Thor-strung mead and branches bane. You have escaped a cruel fate, he said. I had feared such felony from Styr. I promptly called my men to search and save what we might from his moon-hard claws. But as soon as the white singer had been torn away from tomb-like cold and slumber, she yearned only to rise and outrun wasted time back to the Fairbringer. She pushed forward the mass of fear-shy Kaldervik men, but though they went a faster pace, that spell of time was cursed to the scarred skald. They came upon a pale plain covered with snowflakes of a war. the red of blood and the silver grey of broken steel. They found 1,000 shattered shards of what had been Frozen Fire's blade, but they found not a footmark, and neither did they find the body of the fallen Fairbringer. Hild sat on a stump of yew, as wretched as heart as the rain is wet. She mourned the loss of a leader for the race of men, who died for trusting as her father had trusted, and who would never see the hills of Asgarth. I was the one, she cried, who doomed her, though I only sought to save. My cowardice gave victory to Styr. Though the White Singer's bitter tears were true, never shall we know the value of her woe. Had Baldursdóttir fought only fits of fever before yielding to Hel's ghostly command? Or had she battled Fenrir's sister with rage anew, foaming under the morning sun, white steam and heavy fighter's breath around her, as two mist-made dragons intertwined? None shall ever know. I let others decide, if the wolf woman defeated her Jotun-born foe, if the Fairbringer died at war and thus climbed Bifrost, if Arnkel fell to a traitor's blow. As dawn slowly surges with waves of gold, light streaked with bar-straight shadows of the trees, I let others wonder why the blade of ironed ice lay smashed. And this is the end of the Fairbringer saga. Next episode will probably be the last myth for a while, and as it's the last, it'll be about the beginning of the world. I'm planning on doing some different projects on this channel after that, so please like or subscribe if you'd like to see the new stuff that's coming up. Cheers!